It happened so fast, most people didn't even realize what they were watching. One game, that's all it took. 8 months of criticism, doubt, narratives, hot takes, and straight-up disrespect, erased, not slowly, not politely, completely wiped out in real time. And the wild part, she did it while sick. Let that sink in for a second. Caitlyn Clark walks into her first ever Team USA start after 8 months off the floor dealing with a flu, and instead of easing in, instead of playing it safe, she flips the entire script. And by the time the final buzzer hit, it wasn't just New Zealand that got blown out. It was every single argument her critics had been holding onto. Gone. Just like that. Now on paper, people will tell you this was a 55-point win, 101-46, clean, dominant, expected. But if you think that's the story, you're missing everything. Because this wasn't about the score. This was about control. This was about power. This was about what happens when you finally stop holding someone back and just let them be who they are. And that's where things start to get interesting. Because for weeks, actually months, there was this quiet tension building around how Clark was being used. Coming off the bench, limited touches, a system that felt restrained. Like everyone needed to get their moment, even if it meant slowing everything down. You could feel it, fans felt it, analysts felt it, even players felt it. Something wasn't clicking. And then suddenly, it changed. No big announcement, no dramatic press release. Just a different coach running things. And a completely different version of Team USA. Clark moves into the starting lineup. The pace faster. The spacing cleaner. The ball movement sharp. And most importantly, the ball kept finding her hands. That's when everything unlocked. She finishes with 14 points, 6 assists, highest efficiency on the team in just 23 minutes. Sounds solid, right? But here, where it gets a little uncomfortable for the critics. She also played the most minutes on the entire roster. Think about that. Full bench available. Massive lead. Game already under control. And they kept sending her back out there. You don't do that if you're managing someone. You don't do that if you're worried they're fragile. You do that when you trust them. When your offense runs better with them. When they are the system. And that's exactly what this looked like. Now here, where it gets almost poetic. Every single criticism people threw at her. She answered it, one by one, like she had a checklist. Her defense is weak. 2 steals. Both turned into fast break points. Not lucky deflections, not accidental plays. Reads. Timing. Anticipation. That's not a liability, that's awareness. She just chucks threes. Wrong. Most of her scoring in this tournament, inside the arc. Driving. Attacking. Getting to the line. Leading the team in free throws. You don't get fouled by standing still. You get fouled when you're a problem. She's inefficient. She's literally leading the team in shooting percentage. So now what? She's a ball hog. Then how is she also leading in assists? How is she setting teammates up for easy buckets every single game? How is the offense flowing better with her on the floor? At some point, you have to stop moving the goalposts. Because the numbers aren't just good. They're loud. And then there's the stat that really ends the conversation. Plus minus. Clark isn't just leading Team USA. She's leading the entire tournament. Every country, every roster, every player. When she's on the floor, her team dominates more than anyone else in the competition. You can't fake that. You can't spin that. You can't explain that away. That's impact. That's presence. That's control over the game itself. And all of this, all of it, is happening after 8 months out while fighting through illness. That's the part people don't want to talk about, because it makes everything else look worse. All those doubts, they weren't patience. They weren't analysis. They were just wrong. Now here where the story takes a turn. Because while Clark is out there dismantling every narrative, something else is happening behind the scenes. Something strange. The head coach, not there. Gone. No clear explanation. No real answers. And if you rewind just a bit, you start to see why people are raising eyebrows. After a historic performance earlier in the tournament, Clark drops 17 points and 12 assists in just 19 minutes. Off the bench, record-level efficiency. And the response, well, everyone needs to shine. That was the message. Not celebration. Not recognition. Balance. And look, balance sounds nice until it starts costing you momentum. Then Puerto Rico happens. They throw a zone specifically designed to stop Clark. And nothing changes. No adjustments. No shift. Same rotations. Same limitations. And that's when the noise got loud. Fans noticed. Media noticed. Everyone noticed. And right after that, new coach steps in. Rotations change. Clark gets freedom. Team starts rolling. Back-to-back dominant wins. You don't need a press conference to connect those dots. And while all that's unfolding, there's another layer to this story. Because not everyone is benefiting from this shift. Angel Reese. Big presence, strong inside game, physical. But in this faster, guard-heavy system, her minutes start shrinking. And fans, they noticed something else too. Moments where Clark was open and didn't get the ball. Once fine. Twice maybe coincidence. But when it keeps happening, people start asking questions. Now under the new system, that dynamic disappears. Ball moves faster. Guards take over. And the team looks dangerous. Especially when you pair Clark with Paige Bueckers. That backcourt, it's not just working. It's clicking. Instinctively. Like they already understand each other. One draws pressure, the other finds space. One pushes pace, the other reads the defense. That kind of chemistry, you can't force it. You can't coach it into existence overnight. It just happens. And when it does, defenses don't have answers. Now add a third guard like Kelsey Plum into that mix. And suddenly, you've got a lineup that can shoot, pass, and attack from everywhere. No weak spots. No safe matchups. Just constant pressure. That's the version of Team USA we saw against New Zealand. And it wasn't close. It wasn't competitive. It was a statement. So now we're here. 4 games in. Clark leading in assists. Leading in efficiency. Leading in plus-minus across the entire tournament. Most minutes in a blowout win. Dominating while sick after 8 months out. At some point, it stops being a debate. It just becomes reality. And here's the thing. This doesn't stay in this tournament. This version of Caitlyn Clark. This confidence, this control, this pace. It follows her. Back to her team. Back to her league. Back to every game she touches next. So if you've been watching closely, you already know. Something shifted. Not just in one game, but in how she's being seen, how she's being used, and how hard it's going to be to doubt her again. If you've made it this far, you already feel it. That moment where the narrative breaks and the truth takes over. Go ahead, drop your take in the comments. Who's been the loudest critic and what do they say now? And if you enjoy deep dives like this, hit like, subscribe and stick around because stories like this, they're just getting started. Thanks for watching.